go. Hi everyone, welcome back. So today is going to be a very late April TBR, but I'm glad that it's late because I had my list already all prepared, and then I made a couple of purchases that came after I'd made that list, so I ended up completely revising my TBR, which is good because then I can film what I'm actually looking at reading this month rather than the old list. So yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into it. First on the list is Alice Walker's The Colour Purple. I mentioned this in the Back to the Classics challenge video, and it is just a book that I've been wanting to read for years. The film is absolutely fantastic. So it's about Celie, who is born into poverty and segregation. She is R-worded repeatedly by the man she calls father. She has children taken off her. She's forced into a horrific marriage, and then she meets a glamorous singer called Shug Avery, and gradually she discovers the power and joy of her own spirit, freeing her from her past and reuniting her with those she loves. So, as I mentioned in the Back to the Classics video, this seems to be written in like diary and letter form, so I just think it's going to be so good to read. So that is first on my list. Next is a manga. This is The Vampire Knight Volume 2. I don't think I've actually mentioned this before. I don't think so. But it's basically about a school. There's two different classes, the day class and the night class, and the night class is full of vampires. And the students, two students that are like tasked with keeping the daytime students safe from the vampire students because, you know, obvious reasons, things can go wrong. But one of the day students is actually attacked by a vampire, and two of the night students kill the vampire. And it's just that story, and like I believe like worlds, two different classes, or at least partly some of the classes, finding out about each other and whatnot. So really want to get through this series, so I need to crack on. Next on the list is Bunny by Mona Awad. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Apologies if I'm not, please forgive me. I'm just horrendous, we know this. But yeah, it's a bunny, and it's Easter this month, so I thought that this would be the perfect time to read this book, even though by the sounds of it, it's a bit of a horror, slightly. So it's basically about Samantha, brilliant name, who dislikes these like cliquey girls in her class. She really doesn't like them, but she gets an invitation from them to join them. I don't know whether it's for a party or what, I'm not sure, but she goes and things happen. So yeah, Books with Chloe loves this book. She goes on about it all the time, so I thought it must be good. It must be good. So that's the next one on the list. Next on the list, and one of the reasons why I changed my whole TBR, is V.E. Schwab's Gallant. So obviously it's a new release, I've seen it everywhere. From what I've seen, most people that I've watched really enjoyed it. I know there's like mixed feelings about it, and that some people feel like it's not one of her best works, but I've never read a V.E. Schwab yet. I've got Addie LaRue waiting to be read, but because of what I've seen about this book, I was like, I'm going to read this one first. And I just absolutely love this edition with the black sprayed edges, and it is a signed copy that I got from Forbidden Planet, and I just absolutely love it. So I was like, I definitely need to change my TBR and add this on. So it's basically, I'm sure you're well aware, about 16-year-old Olivia. She doesn't have a mother or a father, and she's never had a voice, and she receives a letter from her uncle inviting her to come and live with him, but it turns out the letter was delayed by many years, and the uncle is actually deceased. So all that's left in the house is a cousin, and he's told her that she can stay in the house, it's not a problem, but she's got to abide by 2 rules. Don't go out after dusk and stay on the right side of the crumbling wall. So it just sounds like there's things going on there. I think there's ghosts involved, and it just sounds like something that I really would enjoy reading, which is why it had to go on this month's TBR. So yeah. If you've watched my TBRs before, you'll know I always have a definitely list and a maybe list. So the maybes are if I finish the definitely list or I'm just not feeling stuff, I can move on to the maybes, but they're not like the most important things that I want to get to that month. So the first on the maybe list for this month is Blackbeard Volume 3. I think I have spoken about this series before, but it's basically about Misao. She is the bride of demon prophecy, and her blood basically gives demons like superpowers, like extra powers, and so they're all after her and whatnot, but she's saved by another demon who, like, he basically fixes her wounds by licking them, and in doing that she basically becomes his, but then he protects her, if that makes sense. So yeah, I did enjoy the first 2, so I do want to get on to read more in this series. This month's wrapped up TBR book is Carol Matthews' With or Without You. So it's basically about Lissa, who gets dumped by a boyfriend. She decides, I've had enough of this, I'm not going to sit here moping, I'm going to go on a trekking holiday in Nepal. I hope I've said that right. And she falls in love with somebody else, but then when she gets back, the ex comes crawling back and he's like, oh, I think I might have made a mistake and whatever, and she's got to decide whether or not she stays with the fella she's fallen in love with or she gets back with the ex. So who's she going to go with? There's only one way to find out. I'm going to have to read the book. So that is, as I say, this month's wrapped up TBR. So the second reason why this month's TBR was completely changed is Mina and the Undead by Amy McCall. So I was interested in reading this anyway, but then Jodie from Vanilla Moon had put something up on Instagram about like 5 of the most underrated books, and this was on that list, so I thought this is the sign to just get it. So I got this copy off eBay, and you can actually request like a dedication with it being signed, and it also came with like this little postcard and a bookmark and like a little poster as well. So yeah, the dedication on the inside, I think you can get it from the website as well, and I think they also do them on Etsy also. So it just says, to Sam, welcome to the mansion of Macabre, Amy McCall. And it's just so beautiful. I just absolutely love the pages, and the chapter pages as well are just absolutely stunning. Can you see that? Just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I took it as a sign when I saw Jodie's post on Instagram that I needed to get this book, and then TBR needed changing. So yeah. The last book on the maybe list is The Importance of Being a Bachelor by Mike Gale. So I read Turning 30 by Mike Gale in February, I think it was, and really enjoyed it. I liked his style of writing. It was just easy flowing, easy to understand and follow, and really funny in places as well. And I think that this is going to be the same thing, and it's basically about the Bachelor family. So it consists of George and Joan, the parents, and then their 3 children. And just before the 40th wedding anniversary of George and Joan, George decides that he wants a single life. He doesn't want to be married anymore, and the 3 kids are basically trying to hold it all together and keep the family together and whatnot, is what I gather from the synopsis. So yeah, did enjoy my girl's last book that I read, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this as well. And last on me definitely list is Paper Girls Volume 4. It's a graphic novel. It's by Brian K. Vaughan, Cliff Chang, Matt Wilson and Jared K. Fletcher. And it's basically about 4 paper girls that get involved in like time travel, going back to prehistoric and going way into the future, meeting their future selves and stuff like that. It's based like when the kids, they're from the 80s, which is just so nostalgic for me, being an 80s baby. And I just absolutely love it. It's absolutely bonkers, but I just love it. So I really want to get the complete series that they brought out in the book. Was it last year? In October it came out. Really need to get my hands on it because I've just absolutely fallen in love with this series. It's just so good. So yeah, that's on the definitely list and I cannot wait to get to it. That's everything for this month's TBR list. I know I've left it a bit late, but as I say, I'm kind of glad because I've been able to add those 2 books that I really want to get to and just made, you know, rearranged the list. But I really do hope I can get to all these books this month because I'm really excited by this month's books, like really excited. So I think even though I'm still in the middle of Graceling, I'm gonna start Gallant because I just can't wait until I finish Graceland. So I'm gonna start Gallant pretty much straight away. So yeah, so that's everything for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then please subscribe. Bye.